Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth Ask the Vet live. We're a little bit late this morning just because we just had Hannah in. She was, she's been attacked, so she had quite a few wounds on her ears, bless her, so we've just been cleaning those up and getting her some meds and things to make her feel a bit better. Let's get started. So, I think, where was the first question. So the first question I've got is from Catherine, and she asks, have we seen any cases of rabies during our time at the shelter, and can it be treated? So I've not seen any cases of rabies since I've been here, which is good. I've been here now about 8 months, so I mean, I've not seen any that I have been able to define as rabies, and it can't be treated. So you get two forms of rabies. You get the dumb form and the aggressive form. So the dumb form, usually the animals are kind of fairly comatose and not doing a lot, and whereas the aggressive form is the one that most people kind of think of as rabies, where you've got the foaming at the mouth, you've got that they can't swallow, so they can't drink anything even though they're very thirsty. They become hydrophobic, so they don't want to be near water, but they also really want to drink and things. They become very aggressive, and they kind of get the neurological signs as well, so sort of disorientation and everything like that. And I've been very lucky. I've not actually seen a case. I know Louise has seen a few cases, but it's always a thing, I suppose, of by the time we would see the animal, usually it would probably be pretty far gone. And so whether you can also only diagnose it by taking a sample of the brainstem. So we might have seen cases that we didn't know were rabies, but as for kind of an actual diagnosed case, no, I haven't seen any here, but I've only been here 8 months, and it definitely is around. I didn't see any either when I was in Cambodia, that I knew were rabies. So yeah, that was an interesting question. And yeah, very luckily, so far I haven't seen any cases. It can't be treated. If a human gets bitten by a dog that's not vaccinated, or a dog with rabies, then they have a set amount of time to get some post-exposure vaccines, which will stop the rabies. And if you don't get those, and you do contract it, then it is, I want to say 100% fatal, but I'm pretty sure there's one person who has survived. So I suppose technically it's 99.9% fatal. There was one person, I think, in America who has survived, but otherwise it's 100% fatal, and it can take quite a long time. It sort of depends where you get bitten. It can take quite a long time for the sort of symptoms to show, because if you're bitten sort of on your legs, say, basically it's sort of how far away from your brain, essentially, the virus has to go to then cause the symptoms. So if you're bitten, there you go, Louise. So there was a lady many years ago who did survive, but she was left in a bad way, so if you're bitten, sort of, the further you're bitten away from essentially your head, the longer it takes for symptoms to appear as well. And so I think one of the things is that people will be bitten and they won't think anything of it, and then it's kind of a few weeks or months later that you start to get the symptoms, and then obviously it's too late. So yeah, that was the rabies one. So yeah, thankfully no rabies that we've seen here that we know of, and yeah, sadly can't be treated. So if we do ever have any cases that we are even slightly concerned about, then we have to euthanize the animal, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the big things as well about educating the general public and the general population to try and live more harmoniously with the dogs, because it is a big public health risk, rabies, and if we can get the population more under control, then it's going to obviously decrease the number of rabid dogs around. People will be less scared of them, and it'll all kind of obviously be a bit better. So yeah, it's yeah, not a nice disease. Hi Hein, how are you doing? Yeah, we've just started. We were a bit late this morning. As I was saying, we had Hannah in. She was attacked. Yes, yeah, Catherine. So a lot of people get rabies jabs before they go on holiday and things like that. I think I can't even remember how many I've had, because every time I go somewhere, I'm usually working with animals. They tell me that I have to get rabies jabs, and here we tend to try and get them every year. So all of the staff and everything get them every year, and then if you are bitten, you still have to go and get another. I think it's 3 vaccines. Although the last time I did it, they gave me another full course after I got bitten. So yeah. But yeah, Louise was bitten by an actual rabid dog, which is a lot more scary than just being bitten and feeling like you should go and get the post-exposure because the animal's not been vaccinated. Yeah, so that was that question. I don't know if we've got any more questions. Does anyone who's on the live now have any questions? I'm trying to... I don't think we got any more on the comments from last time. There's no comments on the post from this morning. So I guess I'll just give you guys an update on what we've been doing this week. So this week we have... Gosh, whenever I do these, it's always at the end of the week and I can't remember what we've been doing that week. So this week has been quite an exciting week, actually. We had, on Thursday, we had Kasha, an oncologist that we ask about our TVT cases, was doing some CPD, so continuing professional development. So it was a day of lectures on feline medicine. And so we got a load of local students over, and we all sat and we put that on, and we were kind of doing that, which was really exciting and really fun, and I think they all really enjoyed it. They all loved it. It was probably a little bit more medicine than most people here would deal with. There was a lot of things about diabetes and everything, but they really enjoyed kind of expanding their knowledge, which was really, really nice. And then we also, same day, that was a very busy day for me, Thursday, also had our second pub quiz, which went very, very well at the Two Princes. So yeah, we were really pleased with that. But yeah, it meant quite a busy day for me, but very exciting, lots of sort of things going on. I don't know if any of you saw the story that we put up on Thursday, but we are very, very full of cats currently. I've got 4 cats in the clinic. We're starting to have to put them in dog cages now because we're running out of normal cages. But I think we're doing a little swap later where Tiddles is going, and we're getting Tiddles' friend, I think, for a couple of weeks. So yeah, that's interesting, trying to keep puppies and Harley and my dogs away from cats in the clinic is always fun. So yeah, and then what else have we done this week? We did Hero had an enucleation, She's doing very well. In fact, I'll go show you them all. Why not? Let's do that. That's much more interesting than watching me talk. So, Hero had her enucleation, and she's doing very well. And then Donald also doing very well. Looks like he's dying, but he's not. He's just asleep. Hey. And then we've got this little one who is Bryn. Bryn's going to have an enucleation on Monday to sort out that eye there. Hey, he came in the other day. Yes. And then Tiddles. Where are you, Tiddles? And then, yeah, Tiddles is going home today. And we're getting his friend who also has a bad eye. So it's a lot of eyes going on at the moment. But, yeah. And obviously you all want an update on the puppies as well. Where is she? There she is. Hey, Harley. Are you coming in? Yes. So Harley's now allowed outside, which is good. She's had her second lot of vaccines. So her and Louis are causing havoc whenever they're outside together. But it's better than them causing havoc in the clinic. So yeah, we're trying to work on some manners and some calm behaviours, but yeah, but it's a lot. So yeah, and then what else have we done this week? So I don't know if you guys have been watching our stories or anything, but there's been a lot of construction work going on sort of around the shelter. They're building a lot of warehouses and things, and that's basically meant that a lot of dogs have been displaced from slightly further outside the driveway. So we've got a lot more dogs kind of in our little driveway area. So we've been seeing that there's a lot, our food isn't going as far, basically. And so we're getting a bit worried about fights starting and things. So we've added in more feeding stations, and we're going to increase the food that we give the dogs to try and kind of mitigate any sort of potential problems in the future if you know there are hungry dogs trying to get food that we're giving them if we don't have enough. So that's obviously going to cost us a bit more money, but obviously very important so that we don't get things like we saw today with Hannah, who's got her ears ripped up, and you know there's a few other dogs that have had minor injuries in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's because they're doing all the building works, and the dogs now are moving sort of into the driveway. So we've got a higher concentration of dogs in a smaller area, which is not a good thing. But we will work it out like we always do, and yeah, hopefully if we increase their food, they'll kind of chill out a bit, and we won't hopefully get too overwhelmed. Yes, please do vote and donate on My Giving Circle. Yeah, it's going to cost us, I think when I was looking at the email this morning, it's an extra kind of $1,000 a month possibly, although Louise do correct me if I'm wrong there, for the extra food. But as I said, it's not something that we can really skimp on, because otherwise we become overwhelmed in the clinic with wounds and things, and wounds are, especially the dog wounds, you tend to only pick them up kind of a couple of days later, because we don't often actually see the fights happening. So then you pick them up a couple of days later, and usually there's kind of multiple wounds, obviously, and they're usually pretty deep and infected. $1,000 extra each month. And so then it's usually, you know, a good 3-4 weeks of daily flushing, and it can be really time consuming, especially if there's kind of lots of wounds, or they're very deep, or you're having to put drains in. So obviously for the welfare of the animal, we try and keep that to a minimum, but also in terms of resources and time for us in the clinic, keeping sort of wounds to a minimum is ideal. But yeah, I guess it has been a bit of a busy week. I feel like I've not done a huge amount of clinical work because a lot of it's been kind of prepping for everything on Thursday, and then Saturdays are usually sort of my admin days, so I just sort of try and catch up on paperwork and things. But it's been an exciting week for kind of various projects, which is nice. It's nice to do a little bit different things sometimes. So yeah, and then the cats do all look very happy and healthy, which is nice. Yeah, we've got fewer nucleations coming up, and yeah, I'm hoping that we can sort of start getting back to doing the TNR on the driveway dogs. We've got, I think I mentioned to you guys last week, the 8 puppies that were dumped at the top of the driveway. So they'll be ready to come in a couple of weeks probably, and we'll start their vaccinations and their neutering and everything. And then we've got the 10, I don't know if you guys remember the 10 white puppies that were dumped at the top of the driveway maybe 4 or 5 months ago. They're now all kind of 6-7 months old. And they're quite anxious, so they won't let us catch them. So we need to go out and dart all of them, and get them in. And I've been wanting to do it for like 2 months, and then every time I think I'll have space, something happens. So yeah, it's but I'm hoping that we'll get them done sort of either this month or in the new year. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of puppies fairly soon. Which we don't want. As cute as they are, we do not want a driveway full of puppies. And let me show you. And there's Harley. What's she doing? There she is. Hey, Harley. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Oh, there's Sorouge as well. Thank you, Catherine, for donating and voting. We really, really appreciate it. And we really appreciated the 2 princes letting us do the quiz night the other night. It was really successful. We're very, very appreciative of all the help that we get from everyone. And what else? Yeah, if anyone has any questions or wants to know anything, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I suppose we could talk about, as we come up to Christmas, you know, the kind of foods that people tend to eat around this time that aren't very good for animals. Obviously your chocolate, your raisins, mince pies, things like that. Try and keep those away from your pets. I always try and take home when I go home for Christmas, because my house is always manic at Christmas. We've got dogs and children and loads of people, so I always try and take a little bit of Emodog, which is like an emetic, so you give it to the dogs to make them throw up. I always try and have a little vial of that at home, so that if my dogs or my siblings' dogs get into anything, we can just give them that. But my 2 will actually be staying at the shelter this year, so which it will be hard. I will miss them a lot, but it's going to be very hectic because we've got my nieces and my nephews over this year as well, so it's probably going to be better for them and a bit more calm if they stay here. But yeah, what do you guys do for your dogs at Christmas? Do you guys give them, do they get their own presents? Do they get their own stockings? My 2 have their own stockings, which have their names on them. So we fill those up, which is fun, and then they kind of tear into them. And yeah, what do you guys do? I always give mine a Christmas dinner as well. So they always get a little bit of everything from the Christmas dinner. Except for the parts that are toxic, obviously. They don't get a Christmas pudding. Yes, the high fat foods as well. So you know, if you're giving them loads and loads of sort of pigs in blankets and things, then yeah, pancreatitis is definitely a big risk there. One of my old dogs, the first dog that we ever had, he ate an entire Christmas ham one year. we'd left it out to defrost on top of the freezer, and he managed to get hold of it while we were out. And he was pretty sick for a while, but he did recover. He was fine in the end, but there was a lot of salt in that ham, and he was pretty sick for a few days, but thankfully survived. So yeah, just be very careful what you feed them. Obviously, all animals deserve a little bit of Christmas dinner, but don't go overboard with it. And yeah, is anyone doing anything particularly fun over Christmas? Any particular animal related festivities going on, or anything like that? There's not really a huge amount to talk about this week. Oh yeah, I am slightly sad that I'm not going to be here on Christmas Day at the shelter, because I feel like it would be a really nice festive vibe, but yeah, they'll all get toys and treats. So you do stockings for the dogs and the cat. Oh, Christmas Eve boxes. Yes, Rum has some Christmas jumpers, so I'll be getting those on at some point soon. And I'm sure we'll put them on some stories and some videos. Yes, Louise will be here, so I guess you will be helping keep the shelter clean. And Harley has decided that our kidney dishes are her new favourite toys. Which, yeah, we should probably... Can you grab it? Thank you. Yeah, so we might be putting those on an Amazon wish list soon. I know. We should probably... yeah. So, yeah, I think there's not a huge amount. I don't think I got any other questions or anything today. So if no one has any other questions or anything, then I might leave it there and help Soroush to sort of keep Harley under control a bit. I think I'm going to try and get some driveway footage this afternoon. So go hang out in the driveway with some of the dogs and make sure that they're doing fine. I'm going to do feeding with the boys to kind of see how we're getting on with the food rations and everything. And then, yeah, hopefully this week we will increase the food rations and get back to kind of more spaced out dogs and less risk of injuries and things. Yeah, that's our plan for the coming week. And yeah, 2 enucleations, and then yeah, hopefully get back on the TNR as well, the spay and neuter, because yeah, that's also very important. There's a lot of things we need to do. It's never ending, but that's why we love it. So right, I will leave you all there. Thank you so much for joining. It was a bit of a shorter one today, but I think there weren't huge numbers of questions or anything. If you guys do have any questions throughout the week, just send us a message and then we can answer them on the live. If you have any questions, or you just want to know about particular things, if you want to know about particular diseases or protocols that we do or anything like that, then yeah, I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for joining, and have a great week, everyone.